2, 1. Greetings, foolish mortals. 'Tis I, Viktorya Roze Tassi, and remind me, did I ever tell you, my beloved army of foolish mortal, about the time I shut down my college in a lockdown? I mean, like, it wasn't me specifically, but I'll just tell you guys the story. Okay, so I was on my way from one of my classes, which I can't remember for the life of me, to my theater class, which, okay, let me just simply set up. So we have the admin building right here. I'm just, yeah, admin building right here, walkway here, and then over here we have the theater building. I was walking from the admin building because I had stuff that I was doing over to the theater building, and as I was crossing over, I looked over and I saw someone coming onto the campus, which with what looked like a just literally like tucked in next to them. And at this point, I'm literally freaking out because I'm thinking, oh my God, is it going to be Columbine or Santana High School? I lived like a mile away from Santana High School. I was at home when the went down. But anyway, back onto the story at hand. Sorry for gagging again. So I just literally high speed it into the theater building. I get into my classroom where Beth, she was the head of the theater building. She was conducting her pattern making class. I go over to her and I say, Beth, I just saw someone come on the campus with a, and she of course goes over to the door that leads out into the hallway, looks out, doesn't see anyone. She turns back to me and she says, are you sure? And I say, yes, I am crystal clear sure. She then telephones the on campus police department. I mean, like, it wasn't a police department, it was like a miniature office, if that makes sense at all. And the entire school is literally put into like lockdown at that moment. And I am texting my Aunt Jan, her husband, my Uncle Napoleon, was law enforcement at the time, like law enforcement in Arizona. And I was texting her and I was basically all like, oh my God, what should I do? And she says to me from Uncle Napoleon, if at any point the police ask to talk to you, say you want a lawyer. And yeah, so anyway, I keep that in. So everyone in the theater building is literally huddled up inside the makeup department room, which is it's like in the center of the theater building. We have classroom all around it. If that makes sense any at all. And so anyway, we're holed up there for like two, maybe 2.5 hours, I want to say. And at one point, we had SWAT come in with their police dogs and everything because they were looking for any additional dangers. And just, I'll tell you what, at one point, one of the police officers sees that I have my phone out and he said, hey, can you put that away? And I say to him that I'm watching Twitter to keep a lookout for any notification, which, by the way, I was doing. However, I was also texting my Aunt Jan, which I didn't say that to him. And he says, okay, just like, and it was like right around the third hour when I was asked to come up to the dean's office. I go there. I'm like literally shaking. The dean says, hey, how are you doing? And I say to him, am I going to need a lawyer? And the police officer who was in charge said, do you think you need a lawyer? And I say to him, without even missing a beat, I think I feel a lot more secure if I had a lawyer in here to represent me. And so a lawyer is called in. She was a really sweet older woman, by the way, which, by the way, I had her card at one point, however, I lost it. Oops. And so, anyway, she's literally in there representing me. The police asked me what I saw. I told them what I saw. They asked me if I got a good look at them. And I say to him, yeah, they were wearing black pants, a black t shirt with some kind of anime character on it, and I think a red hat. I think like a red hat or orange hat, something like that. And the police thanked me, sent me off on my way, and just, I'll tell you what, at that point, I was basically all like, what the heck is going on? Like 2 or 3 days later, it gets back on the grapevine that the kid with the was enrolled in the color guard class, and that the kid who was just a 14, 15-year-old high school student taking the class as an elective had purposely painted the color guard to look like the real deal. And just, yeah. So, anyway, that is the story of the time when I set my college campus into lockdown. Tell me, what are some of the craziest lockdown stories you've had experience? Leave them down below in the comments.